Now getting to the sixth point. A lot of people will not even think of it, but this can take you places. Welcome back to Bunny Abroad. If you're new to this channel, then make sure that you smash that subscribe button because that will give you an edge on studying and settling abroad. You must be pretty excited now that you have your offer letter and your visa in hand and you're thinking, oh, next month I'm going to go abroad. Then I'm really happy for you. Congratulations on great work. But make sure that the 7 points I'm going to tell you, you do pay attention to these and take care of these when you are making your list or when you are running your last errands back in your home country, because these are really important. Also, now that your process is done, but if you have a friend who needs help with the application process, then you can direct them to me. I do have my consulting service Collegiado, where I help with the entire application process end to end, and you can ask them to connect with me on Instagram if they're interested in that. Of course, that's a paid service because a lot of effort goes into it, but you get the entire value out of it. So let's get right into the 7 things that you need to do before moving abroad. Talking about the first thing, which you can't ignore at any cost, because if you ignore this, when you move to Canada or when you move to some other country having the same issue, you are going to go bankrupt. So the number 1 thing is your eye and dental checkup. It's really costly here. I can give you an example. Let's play a game. You guess what a large tooth filling can cost you. Probably a few Canadian dollars, not much. You are now converting what it costs in India to that in dollars. But even if you do that, your answer is not going to be correct. Even if you add a few dollars, no, because it's going to cost you $325. If you're going to go for dental crown in gold, that's going to cost you 1,425 Canadian dollars. Imagine that. That's a lot. You don't want to be spending all of your hard-earned money on these things which you can easily get done in India or in your home country for a minimal amount. And one another example I want to tell you. A simple dental checkup is going to cost you $133. So you are wise. Don't skip this step. Make sure that you do this from India itself. You have your eye and dental checkup, and if there's anything that you need to do, you should do that from India itself. Also, for your eyes, if you are someone who wears glasses, then make sure that you get 1 extra set from India, because you never know, it might get lost or it might just break. So make sure that you have 1 handy. And remember, health is wealth. If you are healthy, then only will you be able to do something. And dental pain, if you are going through that, you know, that's really painful. So you don't want to be going through that process here when you are amidst a lot of work, and that's something which is apart from money but also really important, peace of mind. So please don't discount this point. Now coming to the second point, which is your passport expiry date. This is also really important. Suppose you are applying for your study permit, but your passport is going to expire right after 1 year after you complete your study. Now you might think, oh, that's not a problem because you would complete your studies and then you have 1 year. But if you don't get time here to renew that, then the thing is, after you have completed your studies, you are going to apply for your post-grad work permit, and most of the people here come for a 2-year degree. But if you're someone who's going to come here for a 1-year degree but is skeptical if they should do it or not because of this very reason that they are not going to get a 3-year PGWP. So just to tell you, I pursued a 1-year degree and I don't regret it. I'm quite happy with my decision. So if you are contemplating whether you should do that, then there's a video that I've made on a 1-year degree, so you can watch that. Coming back to the topic, so when you are going to apply for your PGWP, the officer is going to give you either which you are eligible, which is going to be 3 years if you are going to pursue a 2-year degree. But if your passport is expiring before that 3-year date, you're just going to get your work permit till that date. So make sure that you have this sorted as well. Talking about the third point, make sure that you have your resume handy for a part-time job. Because once you come here, maybe you are living at your relative's place and they are going to provide you with all the facilities, or maybe you are all alone and you have just booked an Airbnb or some other accommodation and you are just navigating how to survive in a new country and then finding a printing shop, because not everything is easily accessible here. And I'm not scaring you, I'm just saying that in comparison to India, because there are like shops just near your house where you can quickly go and then get everything done. So make sure that you do have that handy. You might have just graduated and then you have 1-2 months between your start date and your end date of your degree, or you just resigned from your job and you have 1 month. So you can utilize that time to make a resume, and then when you come here you can start handing that out. Now coming to the fourth point, and that is accommodation, having a roof above your head. So for all of those lucky people who already have someone living here and they can help you in that process, they can keep you for a week or two and then you can move to some other accommodation. That's really good. But if you don't have anyone like that, then make sure that you have your accommodation sorted from your home country itself. That will make the process really simple, because you'll know that okay, this is the address where I have to go after I land in Canada, and then you would have talked about everything with that person. If you want more information on how to find a house, I have made a video on that, but just in brief, I can tell you that Facebook Marketplace and Kijiji, rentals.ca, these are the best platforms to look for a house or an apartment. Now coming to the fifth point, which is related to money and having connectivity. But regarding money, a Forex card can be really handy because you can use it in a lot of countries and you won't have the trouble that okay, you have the cash but you don't have it in that currency. Make sure that you have your Forex card on you. And the second part that I'm going to talk about will ensure that you have connectivity all the time, and that's your universal adapter. Because if your phone dies on you, then you can be in a really helpless situation, so make sure that you do have that. And if you're carrying electronic devices from India, then of course you'll require it here as well, and here it would be more expensive as compared to India, so make sure that you do have that in your bag. Now getting to the sixth point. A lot of people will not even think of it, but this can take you places. And this point is about finding connections here in Canada. That's really important because here there are no on-campus placements and you need a part-time job as well. But not just that. Simply having some emotional support and having someone who would be there for you. That's finding the right connections here, and you can refresh your memory. You can see whether there's someone from your high school, from your college who went to that same country, who's living in that same province, and you can shoot them a message and inform that okay, you are coming there. And of course it depends on how that person is, how your bond is, to what extent would they be able to support you. But still, knowing someone in a country, especially if you don't have any close relatives or close friends out there, that's really important. So make sure that you take out your time to renew these connections. Maybe you haven't talked in a while, but it's okay, you can get the conversation going by shooting a simple message. And we live in a world where we are interconnected, so use that to your advantage. Now coming to the seventh point, and we come full circle because we started from health and now we are going to end on health, and that's having your medicines and your prescription. Here, if you need a medicine, only a few of those are just over-the-counter drugs which you can get easily without a prescription, but all the others you'll have to get a doctor's appointment, which can take time, and then the doctor will write you a prescription and then you can get that medicine. And by then maybe you are better just on your own, which is good. But the flip side, your condition has worsened and you don't even have a medicine. So make sure that you have that handy, and also make sure that you have the prescription as well, because if they question it, you can simply say that okay, this is what my doctor has recommended me, so that there are no issues at the airport. Okay, now we are done with all the 7 points, but I'm not done yet. The most important point, which you can say is the bonus point here, is spending time with your family. Of course, your immediate family, your parents, your siblings, but also your extended family. And once you are in a new country, you don't know how much time will you get in your studies and your work, and then all that legal process. Okay, you have to fulfill this much experience, especially for people like me who have a 1-year degree, and then the PR process. So you might not know when you'll come back, and it can be even 2 months, it can be 6 months, it can be a year, it can be 2 years as well. It's been 1.5 years for me that I haven't gone back to India. So this point is really important. And okay, I can share this. So my grandma passed away a few months ago. Of course, that wasn't easy in the sense I was really close to my nanny. But having that thought that okay, when I was about to come here, I stayed there for a week or 2 at my nanny's place, and then you know, you don't have that regret that oh, you could have met them when you were there. So make sure that you do that. I don't want you to be in a condition where you later regret it. So now it's the right time for you that you can spend with your family, you can spend with your, especially your grandparents, because you never know, right? So please make sure that you do heed to this point as well. So these were the 7 points. I hope that you found this video to be helpful. I do hope that you like this video and you do take action also on these items. If you found value in this video, make sure that you hit that subscribe button right in the bottom of the video screen. And also don't forget to hit the like button. And until my next video, take care and stay happy. Bye.